Here's the next step for solving the Rubik's Cube blindfolded. I just want to emphasize this again. If you can't solve a Rubik's Cube without cheating, then don't try to do this. Also, I would like to emphasize something. Every time I finish with a certain section of it, of the tutorial, I recommend going through it a couple times with your eyes open, and then memorize it and do it blindfolded. Okay? So, this was the corners method, where it's corner orientation, where we're turning the corners into the correct location. Like this. I start with the white side on top, like I said. These corners are oriented correctly. This one has to be. I can't disturb this corner, so I have to put this corner into the orientation zone. It has to turn clockwise. So you do the clockwise method. And there's the corner. It's turned correctly. Turn it back into its original position. And that corner's turned correctly. Remember, don't care about this corner. It will be turning, but that's not a problem. The same goes for the bottom. You're also going to orient all 4 of these corners. On the top, you only did 3 of them. But on the bottom, you're going to do all 4. This corner's already oriented. I don't have to do anything with it. This corner, it has to be turned counterclockwise. This corner right here. Put it into the buffer zone. Do the counterclockwise algorithm. Sorry, did that wrong. There's the corner. Twist it back. So now it's oriented. Okay? This corner has to be turned clockwise. Put it into the buffer zone. Make sure that this corner is still undisturbed. Hold on. Clockwise, I already forgot. It has to be turned clockwise. So do the clockwise method. The corner is now oriented correctly. Next is this one, counterclockwise. Okay, put it into the buffer zone. Do the counterclockwise method. Put it back into position, and all your corners should be oriented. If you just kept ignoring this and didn't move it at all, unless you were doing an algorithm, all corners should be oriented. Alright, I just explained how this was done as if you were looking at it the whole time. When you're blind solving it beforehand, you have to memorize the way each corner has to turn. Like, let me mix this up a little bit and show you. This is how I would memorize it. Okay? I would see this corner is done. I'd memorize that as 0. This has to turn clockwise. C. This has to turn clockwise. C. So 0, C, C. Look at the bottom. This one, this one, this one, this one is the order you should go. This is counterclockwise. I remember that as A, like anti-clockwise. So remember that as A, 0, A. Okay? So it's 0CC, AA0C. 0CC, AA0C. So if I was going to do a blindfolded, it would look something like this. Now, I don't really have to continue, but as you can see, these corners are now being oriented. I'm going to have to finish this in order to go to the next step. As you see, or as you hopefully have done, your corners should be oriented by the end of this. Let's have one last corner to do. So if you were going to memorize it, you would have to remember the way each corner turned. I have all corners oriented. I would have to remember 0CC, AA, 0A. 0 means no turn. And now I have all corners oriented. Okay? That is the end of the first part, orienting the corners. The next part, you would then organize the corners. You would place them in the correct location. Okay? I don't think I have any in the right spot. I have one in the right spot. This corner's in the right spot. Most likely, yeah, I think we will never touch this corner unless we're doing an algorithm. And this is the algorithm that you're going to be using for this part. What that algorithm will do is it will only affect the top side again. These two corners will switch, and these two edges will switch. You don't want to care about the edges right now, alright? But the new buffer zone is going to be right here. It was originally over here, now it's over here. And your new undisturbance zone is up here. Originally it was here, it's over here. Everything just moved to the right. Okay? There's also something you have to pay attention to. When you're moving a corner into the buffer zone, you have to be careful. Like, let's say I wanted this corner in the buffer zone. I don't really, but let's say I wanted it in. I can't just turn the front like that and say it's now in the buffer zone. I have to do something special. If I am going to put a corner into the buffer zone, whenever I turn the left and front sides, you can turn left, front, and down. But whenever you turn left and front, you have to remember you can only turn them twice. You can't just turn it once and say it's in the buffer zone. If I want to get this corner in the buffer zone, this is actually the hardest corner to get in the buffer zone. I would have to twist it twice, turn D, and twist it twice again. Okay? It's now in. Let me just undo that. Alright. So that's basically how I have to do it. Same thing with L. So if I wanted to get that over here, I'd have to twist this twice and then front twice. Okay? So you can't just turn it once. You have to make sure you turn it twice. For the first step, it doesn't matter, but for this step, it does. Down, you can turn as many times as you want in any direction. Alright? From now on, you're going to have to memorize what each sticker of the cube is like. My program wasn't working, so I'm sorry I couldn't get that up, but I was going to show you basically what each sticker in cube is. Basically, each sticker on an edge piece is given a letter, and each corner is given a number. Okay? For this next step, we place the corners. So we look at the corners, which have numbers. You're gonna look at you have to make sure you have a definite, like, front and top view. This is my definite top, definite front. This will always be my top, this will always be my front, no matter how I'm using this cube. Okay? Look at it, top view, head on, like this. That's corner 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? But now for the others, there's the other 4 corners. Corner 1 is opposite corner 5. Corner 2 is opposite corner 6. 3 is opposite 7. 4 is opposite 8. So if you look, it'd be 5, 6, 7, 8, which is the opposite. Like, I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're basically opposites. Okay? When you're memorizing this, you memorize by numbers. Alright? Like I said, the buffer zone is here. And the other zone is here. I can't think of the word. I am having a mental block. What you're going to do, if you were memorizing, you would look at this cube. This is the white, red, blue piece. Belongs right here. Okay? Since this is corner number 3, I would memorize it as 3. That's the first number of the sequence. Okay? But for demonstration purposes, I'm not going to do it. The corner is already in the buffer zone, so you don't have to do anything. Perform the algorithm I showed you. And the corner is now in place. I don't have much time, so I'm going to explain the rest in another video. Thanks for watching part 2 of the Blindsolve tutorials.